The world is in debt, but who do we owe? Everyone's in debt. America, Europe, Japan, even Saudi Arabia and China. But wait a minute. If everyone owes money, who do we owe? The answer is a little strange. Ourselves. Yes, the world actually owes money to itself. But this story isn't just about economics. It's also about power, trust, and history. Part 1. The Origin of Debt. Today, the world is carrying $315 trillion of global debt. That's roughly 3 times the size of the entire global economy. But this story didn't start on Wall Street. It began on the battlefield. In 1694, England was at war with France and had run out of money. The king turned to merchants and said, "Give me your money now. In return, I'll pay you interest from future tax revenues." And that's when the Bank of England was founded. For the first time, the state could spend money it didn't actually have. And those who lent the money got something very valuable in return, the word of the state. That word, known as a government bond, could be bought and sold. This was the beginning of the modern financial system. France copied it, the Netherlands improved it, and America embraced it. From then on, countries that could borrow were seen as strong, while those that couldn't were seen as weak. Empires used to wage wars to collect gold. Now they issue bonds to collect interest. The battlefield has changed. It's now the balance sheet. Part 2. Everyone owes everyone. Today, America's debt stands at $38 trillion. The European Union owes $14 trillion, Japan $9 trillion. And every 100 days, the world adds another trillion to the pile. But who is this money owed to? The answer is shocking. About 66% of U.S. debt is held by Americans themselves, banks, funds, and pension systems. So technically, America owes money to itself. The remaining 33%, roughly $9 trillion, is held by foreigners. Japan, China, the UK. So yes, America owes China. But that's only about 2% of the total debt. It's basically one big loop. The Treasury issues bonds, banks buy them. Then the Federal Reserve buys those bonds back and creates new dollars. Americans pay taxes, the interest flows into pension funds, money circulates, the system survives. Part 3. The global cycle. And this isn't unique to America. Japan lends to the U.S. lends to Europe through the IMF. Europe lends to developing countries via the World Bank, and those countries use their earnings to buy U.S. bonds again. It's a global debt cycle. Everyone holds everyone else's IOUs. It's like a poker table. Everyone's borrowing chips from each other, but no one ever says, "All right, I'm cashing out." Part 4. Who holds the power? So, who's really in charge of this system? The markets. Massive investment funds, pension funds, central banks, hedge funds. They decide which country can borrow cheaply and which one faces the risk of collapse. If confidence drops, a country's currency crashes, interest rates spike, and governments can literally fall apart. Democracies decide who governs, but markets decide who survives. And at the top of it all sits the brain of the money system, central banks. Every newly printed dollar is actually a unit of debt. There's no such thing as debt-free money. On every banknote, invisibly, it might as well say, "This is someone's debt to someone else." Part 5. How sustainable is this system? This entire structure runs on one thing: trust. Investors believe governments will keep paying interest. They don't even care about getting their principal back. But when that trust breaks, we've seen what happens in Greece, Argentina, Sri Lanka. Once debt can't be rolled over, countries literally go bankrupt. And here's what we need to understand. Governments never plan to repay their debts. They just plan to roll them over, pay old debts with new ones. Economists call this refinancing. So government debt works like a subscription system. You pay interest every month just to keep your membership active. The US, Japan, Europe. None of them even dream of paying off their debts, because debt has become the lifeblood of the economy. Part 6. The real cost of debt. Politicians love to say, "We'll eliminate the debt." But that's just an illusion. The real goal isn't to erase debt, it's to manage it. Because if trust in debt disappears, interest rates skyrocket and the economy stops. And yes, it's true. The world owes itself, but the burden isn't shared equally. Interest payments flow upward, from workers and taxpayers to the big investment funds and banks. So debt isn't just a transfer between nations, it's also a transfer between classes. Ending. A thought to leave you with. Today, debt doesn't mean chains. It means balance. But if that balance ever breaks, if trust disappears, the illusion ends. And then we'll remember, debt isn't just a financial instrument. It's a promise that can never truly be kept.